Morning everyone, hope you can hear me. Ollie Payne here, just about going to stream the stage of Virtue Pro cycling app. I'm just having to run it in small screen because I've got it in window format, but so bear with me. So I'm now going to make a selection on the screen. So I'm going to do a race down here bottom right, but normally when you log into Virtue Pro you will be seeing this screen where you pair your devices, so it will say available devices here, and then what you do is you actually confirm over on this side where you pair them first, and then once you've paired both of them or one of them, normally it was just fitness equipment, but I've got bike power as well, so to be fair, sure, I've actually paired both, and I'm going to confirm afterwards. Now I'm going to come down here. You can see there's various options on here. Free ride, so if you go on free ride, there's a couple of stages to choose from, as you can see here. I'm actually going to go, or time attack, if you want to do a time attack stage, choose a stage for that, but actually today I'm going to just do start a race versus AI. There's no online yet. Single stage, you can see you could do tour, start a new tour, or carry on with an ongoing tour which you've created. Perhaps do that, show you that another day. I'm going to select London, fairly short but also fairly local to me. So I'm going to choose a stage. I'm going to stick to C at the moment, post-COVID. Confirm. I'm going to go with this team. See, there's various teams you can, if you scroll down, you can select quite a few different teams with their team members and their strengths, from climbing through to sprinting, etc. I'm going to go with this top one, Barra. Choose team. Okay, then it's gone into the screen where actually I can start pedaling. So if I get on there, it's loading, and then it asks me to pedal in a second once it's loaded. Good, so it's asking me to pedal now, so I'll maximise the screen. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go! Set off and start explaining some of the features on the screen. You can see the concierge car and up ahead. We just get the front of the race from my team members. Let's just get back in and get into a nice pace and into a group. Probably be a few attacks, fairly flat course, so maybe a few attacks early on, as you can see off the front. As you can see on the road there are green arrows, and that's the line, best line to take on the road. And if you do move off that line through steering, because you have the ability to steer. I've got myself a little remote control which allows me to do that. So I'm just steering now, can you see? Left to right. If you release the steering, it will, when it can, default to that green line, depending if team members are in your way or not. So, let's have a look. Hopefully you can hear me, guys. Just checking out, don't want to lose too much of my track position. So if you're looking at the screen, starting from the left hand side, you've got your heart rate. My batteries are run out on my Wahoo ticker, so not registering at the moment, but again you would pair that on the pairing screen. You've got a nice little flag next to the right of the beats per minute heart rate, and that's the draft effect. How much draft you're getting in the peloton. So you can see I'm up to 100%, right in the centre of the peloton at the moment, but I am 160th, so I'm not quite in the centre. I've gone down midway because I was messing around on my phone, taking the eye off the ball. Then you've got below the heart rate your cadence, which I'm running about 83 revolutions per minute. You've also, to the right of that, got the 38/17. It's just showing you the gears, but that's more to do with the Virtue Pro bike, which is the bike which can be specifically used with this app. Not sure where that's at now, but I know it exists. Below that, so not relevant for me with my Wahoo kicker. Oh crikey, off the back of the peloton, hang on. Moving off at a lick to begin with. So below you can see I'm 150th out of 176 people, and the positioning, who's leading, for example. Then in the centre, top centre here, you can see my speed, 44 kilometers per hour. My power in the centre, 355 watts, 100 watts now, just backed off. The actual slope, 0.8%, so quite flat. Then on the right, you see how far we got to go to the finish, 28.5 kilometres. How far I've gone so far, 3.4 kilometres. Then the distance to the sprint in the elevation map, 20.9 kilometres to the first sprint point. I'm climbing, you can see the elevation. There's only about 12 metres climbing the cyclost's whole route. So it looks like 3 sprint points, 2 intermediates and the final one. We've got the time on this stage, which is 5:51 currently. The FTP level I'm running at for this one, which is C+. And then team com. You can give orders to your teammates, which is a really nice feature, which I'll do in a second. Let me just work my way up the peloton a little bit. And I'll show you some of the views you can do as well. Working my way up a bit in the peloton. So team orders. You see it says give orders to your team, press 0. So I'll press 0 and you have some options. Attack, protect or high pace. So really I want some protection. If I press it again, 2, so 2 to select it, 2 again, and then press 0 to remove it. Hopefully in a minute, if space allows, one of my teammates will join me. Wait to see, you may have to drop back. Who did I select? 0, 2 to protect, Bachmann, But I'm going to choose Bookman 0 to remove the window, and hopefully Bookman will come. Is he dropping back here? Maybe he is actually. No. That's the other guy. Although I did select him briefly, so maybe I haven't cancelled that order. So maybe he's the one who's, Conrad is the one who's going to come and help protect me. It looks like he is, yeah. Because if you press 2 and 2 again, you can select between a number of riders within that 2 option who are good at protecting, who will come and pace with you. And it's looking, maybe it's Conrad. If I can let him go in front of me, let's see if he sits to draft me as and when. Yeah, he is. Look, there you go. So Conrad is protecting me from my orders. So it's nice to have that, just protection, bit of draft from your teammate. Fortunately at the moment I've got the peloton, and of course if I go faster than him, he is gonna drop off. But he is picking up just to try and be with me all the time. As you can see, he's to my right now. Little attack after this slight incline. The AIs do like doing that, as you can see. Yeah, Conrad is the one protecting me now, as you can see. Back up to this group. Excuse if my Wahoo climb is creaking. It's creaking a lot. I've already had one belt go, so I hope this one's not on the way out. Interesting experience when the belt goes if you're on a positive incline, because I had mine drop from about 6% all the way down to -10, which was interesting on the wrists. See that Conrad, my teammate, is still with me, protecting me where he can, coming to the front, but of course I'm right in the middle of the group at the moment. So I've got a little remote on my handlebars, which I bought from eBay, and I use this app which I got from one of the very helpful community people within Virtue Pro World. And if you remember to start that little app before you open up Virtue Pro, you can use this. It's a media control button, so it connects via Bluetooth to your computer, and it would control the volume normally, but this one allows you to make some in-game changes. So look, there you are, the down button on my remote. I can change the view to helicopter view, like almost like drone cam. If I press center play button, it takes me back. Then if I press the center button, which is the play button, I can change my views. This is my favourite view, third person view. Really feels like you're in the action. If I keep pressing play, it'll rotate through all the different views. So that one's a more behind, up, and this is the third person, and I suppose this is your third person view. and then your volume up and volume down buttons allow me to change between helicopter, above drone I suppose, and then in order to go back at any time I just press the play button. So it allows me to circulate between views, and then there's a track left, track right button which you can use. As you can see, I'm moving left and right. And as soon as you let go of steering, as soon as it can, it'll default back to the green arrow which is marking the best line on the road. I think you can see it now quite clearly, the green arrows, chevrons. So I'm going to go to third person view, I like this one. Look behind the spacebar on your PC, and it'll stay that way until you press space again. Now, there are keys, function keys on the PC also do the same as I've just shown you in terms of use, but I'll write those in my comments because I've used the controller now so long, I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'll put those in the comments after this stream. I've also used in the past Xbox game controller which I've connected to my laptop, and that's quite nice because it allows you to move almost round the rider in a 360 fashion, but again it also allows you to change the camera views, take screenshots, and steering is a little bit more fluid on a controller. So Conrad is still protecting me, bless him. Good stuff, mate. Speed is quite ferocious, obviously on this relatively flat stage. .4 kilometres gone, 9.5, top right, 22 to go. I always feel it's more immersive in this first person view, but also it does feel quicker, because I suppose you're that much lower down, so lower centre of inertia, so it does feel more like you're in the thick of the action. So also two modes you can tell people to attack, so they'll attack off the front for you. I'm not in the mood for get my teammates to attack and then me. Got my teammates helping me out, which is great, especially there's a slight gap open up. It is ferocious, it is like proper racing on Virtue Pro. And they are just as unpredictable, where they'll go for sudden surges in the peloton. My Wahoo climb is really creaky. Coming up to 23rd in the peloton now. Settled a bit, I think, the peloton, and they're still going pretty quick. Conrad is still out there, isn't he? Hanging around for me, which is good. He puts his little efforts to get in front of me, tries to match my pace, but I can go a bit, I can go a bit quicker at that. Fifth now. There's that little group ahead. Two people going off the front to try and join a breakaway. I always think to see how it sort of slows down, sort of almost, when I go to third person view. Graphics are superb, aren't they, as well? Maybe coming through some of the Surrey towns on the way to London. This is 1/5 race distance, so albeit it might be the full stage, if some stages are getting on for 200 kilometres, so for the average cyclist doing that, particularly if you're going to do an out course with 3 or 4 climbs, it's just going to be too much. So it's 1/5 race ratio. So there were banners, and we look at, I don't think there are anymore, but when the banner said 5k, it was actually in reality only 1k to go. That just allows you to experience the stages the pros do, but not at the same race distance. But it does have a way of, it foreshortens the climbs, for example, such as the famous climbs of Paterberg seems very, very short, like almost like a small bump, and then out to Wes is shortened somewhat, but still looks very realistic. And at the end of the day, if you've got excellent graphics and the boredom's relieved through taking part in such events like these, then brilliant. I'm all for it, because the graphics and the scenery in this is absolutely superb. Do some of the Alp stages or some of the stages by the sea, really, really good. Valverde there, still in the World Championship jersey, that needs updating. Poor Alaphilippe. So I'm in this little group at the moment. Breakaway still off, but they're not far. It's some 12 seconds off the peloton maybe. I don't know, maybe they've actually split slightly. Third place is 5 seconds off us now. So just taking it easy and going with this group. It's hot in here, hot in this room. There's Brockman. Oh, Brockman, maybe you can place in front of me. So I've just changed the order to Brockman, and he has that. He's come up to protect me. Let's do a bit of drafting, because I don't want to be the person sat on the front if I can help it. Again, that was the team order. Press 0, press 2 for protect, and then 0 to close the window. It'd be nice if the order is below that, in terms of what you've selected. That might come. So about 10 miles to go. Sort of just coming out to halfway now in this stage. So this is about 31 kilometres, so in reality I suppose this stage is about 150 in real life. Oh, someone's gone off the front. I'm not going to go with him today. Sit in here, talk. Second view. These little surges there. They are so into this peloton. Having little surgeries and attacks. Come on, teammate. Where are you? You stayed at the front, didn't you? Saga. Feels like Sagan's in my team. Sometimes it's best not to panic. If you think, crikey, I'm gonna lose the group, they surge. But then there's quite often, if there's a small incline or a corner, they all start bunching back up again. It's so easy to say that though, because I panic and you just don't lose the draft. Back up towards the front of this one again, gradually. So you can see, not always worth the panic, but you may sometimes have to work a little harder just to get back onto that group. Sometimes pause for a moment. See further up ahead, 3 seconds. I'm not gonna at this stage. Just notice with COVID, I haven't got my top end anymore, and if I start really pushing it, my breathing becomes really laboured, which I've never had before. So, trying to take it easy. This group. We're still part of the peloton, aren't we? Yeah. Thank you, Butler. Give me a little bit of drafting. Tell me, mate. Nice when the crowd are out cheering away. People are off the woods. I quite like it when we go into third person sometimes because it does feel like it slows things down a bit. I don't think it does in reality, but visually anyway. Hang back to me, Buckman. Thank you. Thank you. Just ordered him again just to make sure he's protecting me. You see R resets the orders as well, so if you ever wanted to do that. How are we doing behind? All the peloton are with us, aren't they? I like doing that when I've made a breakaway. And it's awful when you see the peloton right in the distance, but no breakaways for me today. Still nice view, back all over the fields, poppies, and almost looks like rapeseed. Also when you're riding in this view, watch for the mannerisms of the riders. They reach for their bottle, they reach for the energy gel. Sometimes it looks like they're talking to their team radio. I like it when they tighten their shoes if it's going to be a sprint. There's a guy that's just tightened his shoes up. Buckman, no, it's not the guy. Guy in front of Buckman was tightening his shoes then. 4K yet to the sprint line. That's where it will speed up again, unfortunately. Here's the view. Look how far the graphics go, that's what I like. I know we're going over the fields at the moment, but it's just beautiful. Lovely when you see sunflowers and stuff. You can even see some of the yellow rapeseed fields over on the left hand side. A little bit of calm before the storm, if I'm honest. There's a leader off 17 seconds on the left hand side, 17 seconds in front. I'm 21st at the moment. 2.3 kilometres to the sprint. If you look on the right hand side, above the elevation map or profile. Kick and climb works really well with Virtue Pro. Quite responsive as well. Not much of a delay on it. I don't feel so much of a delay on Virtue Pro than I do some of the other apps maybe. Although it does show your watts, it's very much based on your, I think, your flywheel speed, so the actual speed you're turning the pedals. So it's nice you have a bit of residual freewheel, because of course your flywheel still go around after you stop pedaling. Whereas other apps which work on power alone, you know, as soon as you freewheel, you're off the back almost. Looking at the detail as you go through some of the little housing areas. So sweet corn on the left being grown in maize. People are going to go crazy in a minute. It's 500 metres now to the sprint. First place has gone through. About to, I think. At the moment I get 6.2 I am. Still past Wellings. People are going to go in a minute, I expect. Aren't they, for the last remaining points? Or are you just going to cruise through? Roll through and take the 10 points, I think it was, for me. Stay behind them. Take them for a lead at the moment. Sometimes they do flick their elbows. There's one there, he's just flicked for his teammate to go front. big cut carbon wheels out of it. Ferocious pace down here sometimes. Down that loop. About an half K to go coming up to. You can see how I stick to that green line unless I be careful not to crash though. Move out. As soon as I stop steering, it goes to the default. Got a face full of bush there. Tree bush. So there you go. Ooh, they're surging a little bit. That final 5k. Still a couple of riders off the front of this peloton. Get some space, push them out of the way a little bit. Ten seconds away, the leader. Coming up to 4k to go. There's some of the breakaway in front. Follow some up there. Some of the breakaway up. Here he comes. Swallow 3 of the group up. Another sprint coming up. I'll test this one, but I can't say whether it's 15 or 10. This is where I just start feeling my lungs a little bit then. Down the 5-second gap. There you go, there they are. Just about to catch the leaders, swallow them up. $2K. Yeah, see it says 10K, but times that by 5, we'll divide by 5 too. Here we come, Tower Bridge. Going alongside the Thames now. Surges are annoying. London Eye coming up into view. I know what to take the lead. Thank you. Big Ben. Oh dear. Oh, oh, sugar. I backed off. Should have put more watts down. Should have done my sprint. Thought I had that. Should have looked behind. What I should have done is gone up. Did that at least 600 plus watts, but I kind of thought sticking to my about 400 watts would do it. What a finish. That was fun. Staying same time. Down to 100 per second. Brilliant. Oh, great. Ferocious running. Whew. There you go. Something exciting for you at the end. Proving that I should have put the last sprint in. To be fair, I was surprised I found myself at the start like that, at the front. But you can't be lazy and just maintain what watts you're putting out at that time. I should have gone into a sprint for the finish. Never mind. Made for an exciting finish, isn't it? Great stuff. So, I'm just going to take a couple of photographs. Not that it's probably come through okay, but I always do it just as a backup, because I have to reduce the size of the screen to look at the stats. This race, well, that's good, that's better. Average watts per kilogram, average power 175. So it's improving post COVID. I just couldn't get that that final big sprint in. So there we are. And then finally that first place in 10.09. 19th of the 8th. And then where do we come? So I've got 43 points for the sprint classification. It's not bad, is it? I'm having to reduce the window size because I've gone into a window. Mountain sprint, oh, I didn't get any points there. Mountain sprint, when's that happen there? I didn't say that happened. What mountains? It should be 0 all round, yeah, I was going to say. Combativity. Oh, they. Okay, well, that's again. Where did my team finish? So we were first. Overall, great stuff. So there you go, guys. Virtue Pro for you. You can see, not easy. And the lesson learnt there is not to rest on your laurels at the end. Make sure you go into your sprint. Otherwise you get pipped to the post like I did. Right then, hope you enjoyed that. See if I can do another one again soon. Cheers, guys.